Last time on XCOM 2, we permanently defeated the Chosen Assassin, fighting through many enemies and many glitches to achieve this. We completed some research that now unlocks the next story mission, so we'll be working towards that. And we went out to save some civilians. We were successful, but we tragically lost Mary, one of our high-level operatives, along the way. After that, there was a short fight where we had to escape from a compromised covert action, but like the last one, it was pretty easy. There was only 4 or 5 actual enemies on the map, and they were all just the lowest level troops in small groups, so we just annihilated them. This was the most interesting thing that happened. A purifier revealed that purifiers can actually damage you. They can throw an incendiary grenade, so we get wounds on both Yoshiaki and Constantinus there as we escape. Now we complete our research on the stolen Codex brain we got a while back. The problem, as you can see, is that powering up the Codex brain actually makes the Codex come back to life, and it ends up exploding in one of our test chambers. But still, the damage is not permanent, and the data we got from this Codex reveals to us some kind of central hub in the alien psychic command network. So we've got a new story mission, which is go and find out what's there, effectively. We can't do it now, though, because we have to make contact with the region first, and that's going to take a while. So the next mission we ended up going on was for the Resistance Council. They've got another VIP-based mission where we have the option to either extract the VIP like we did last time, or just kill them. It's basically an enemy officer, and if you extract them, you can interrogate them to get some more intel, that secondary currency. So I moved to the edge of the building we started on, and there were some aliens down in the street, so we're going to start things off with the classic throw a grenade at them tactic, using Yoshiaki, launching a grenade to be specific. So we've damaged a whole load of sectoids there, and we've also got a new enemy on the field today, the Archon. This thing can fly around and has this annoying missile type attack that can hit lots of your party members at once. Right now though, we have the advantage over it. We get an Overwatch shot with Spawn Seeker there, a new operative. He's from The Perfect Crime, and he has no legs for canon reasons. We also discover that a turret is nearby. It gets aggroed into the fight, and that turret's actually going to come in pretty useful in a moment. The Archon goes into battle frenzy mode. Whenever you damage it, it buffs itself, but we won't worry about that. We've got a nice shot here from Turdo Tagehisa. An outflanked sectoid goes right down, although this does break his concealment. Not so bad, because Reapers can just go back into concealment later on. Now with the turret, I'm going to send Crotch's Gremlin bot to go and see what we can do in terms of messing with it. The turret's in a pretty nice position in terms of where the enemies are, so I wanted to go for a controlled turret. Only a 50% chance of it happening, but we absolutely annihilate that hack. Good hacking from Crotch, so the turret's now on our side. Masako shoots down into the street, killing one more sectoid. Then it's going to be up to the turret to see what it can do. It's got outflanking shots on 2 of the sectoids. It also reveals to us that there's another turret further down the building we'll need to worry about later. So we take a shot against an exposed enemy and get the kill. Critical even. Good work, turret. The nice thing about turrets as well is that firing doesn't end their turn, so they can actually shoot twice per turn, and we're going to use that second shot on the other outflanked sectoid, and down it goes. So that's made this first encounter much, much easier. WotC throws a grenade over the railing there and kills the Archon. And that's the end of that first pod. The only thing we're fighting now is that turret, but it's hacked. Well, I spoke too soon. Another pod immediately runs into the fight. Kojiro getting things started with a great miss. So we'll continue fighting here. We're in a nice advantageous position, so it's a good thing that the fight's taking place while we're up on this building. Kojiro redeems himself by annihilating a purifier once it's his turn again. Then Yoshiaki shoots a grenade forward to damage an enemy and remove the wall of the room the enemy are using to hide in down there. And Takehisa is going to use that removed wall to get a nice easy hit on one of the enemy troopers. Joss Arton could see the shield bearer hiding in cover there. He's actually got a really good chance to hit because he has the Shadow Strike perk. This gives you a plus 25% chance to hit things if you're in concealment, and he was. So we actually kill that guy through the wall. Very effective indeed. Then WotC destroys that turret in the distance that we can see. Not going to bother doing any more hacking now. We've pretty much got this, and it's never a guaranteed thing. Our first turret friend though is providing even more utility because the enemy are attacking it instead of attacking us, so that's probably taking the heat off. Now we get a bit of an interesting thing. This stun lancer starts climbing up towards the turret, and you can see there it has 2 health after taking some damage. Masako tries to shoot it. It only does 1 damage. She has the upgrade on her weapon that does damage when missing, but now the enemy has full health -1, so somehow attacking it actually restored that guy's health. Luckily, Crotch won't let anyone touch his turret baby, and he annihilates that stun lancer, so that went pretty well in the end. A bit confusing though. I think we might have been on the wrong end of a glitch there. Now the turret's the only thing that can actually see the last remaining enemy, so it will shoot down through the floor and we get that kill, so even more utility coming from this thing now. I moved up Takehisa to try and find the next set of enemies and the VIP. The VIP's in this big room with this strange machine, and the next set of enemies is outside the window just beyond it. What I decided to do here was just randomly attack them, even though everyone else in my party has been left behind near the starting position, because I want the enemy to aggro towards me all the way back to that position. Since we have that tall building, our chance to hit up there is so high. I was hoping that we could just draw them in and gun them down as they came towards us, so that's the plan. Unfortunately, the turret broke free of its hacking and now can fight us. Crotch comes up to try and shoot it with Overwatch, but he can't bear to destroy his precious turret, and the turret, being rather heartless, shoots back and hits him, doing a whole load of damage, so that is a shame. We can of course just shoot it with someone else because it's very exposed, and Kojiro is the first person to come up in the turn, so it will have to be him. Got a decent chance to hit, he takes the shot, and indeed he does get the hit here, so the precious turret is dead. Rip, it really helped out. So now our plan effectively works. The enemy just comes towards us and we'll take loads of enhanced chance to hit shots and just kill everything that comes near to us. I'm going to be really cheeky with Todo and just leave him out of concealment, like in this other building with the enemies in it, so that I can pick up this loot, and the enemy were luckily ignoring him or just weren't close enough to really do anything, so we do get away with doing that. Now WotC annihilates a trooper through the window there that came up to see what was going on. Good stuff from him. Then a mech advanced. It had already been damaged by an attack from Masako, I think, and Crotch just finished it off with that exposed building side that Yoshiaki created, coming in very nice, getting some good lines of sight. I had put Spawn Seeker behind the enemy building, or the building we were attacking, to see what he could see. He spots a shield bearer on the move and misses the Overwatch. I used pretty much my entire turn and all my operatives trying to attack that shield bearer, and finally OfficiallyDevin just criticals it to get rid of it. And that was actually the last enemy. Now we move up Takehisa to knock out the VIP, and now we can just carry her to the extraction point and get away with no further incidents. So this will allow us to get some bonus intel. As I mentioned earlier, you don't actually have to do that, but there was no resistance, and the VIP luckily doesn't really run away when you get close to make the capture. Nothing of note happened after that mission and before the next one, so we'll go right into it. It was another guerrilla op. We've got the choice between getting some intel, some supplies, or a new operative, and I'm going to go for that last option because the recent loss of Mari has reminded me that really even our decent operatives could be lost at any time, and we do need a pool of quality soldiers because we can't really rely on our B team to do some of the more difficult missions. So we're jumping into this one. All we have to do is hack a thing on a train, like a mission we've done previously, and between us and the train was an enemy squad, so we need to work out the best way to attack it. One of them was a purifier, so obviously the best way is to shoot it and get an explosion going, and that explosion kills a nearby trooper. So now it's an Archon and 2 other troopers to fight. Interestingly, the 2 troopers don't scatter for cover after making that attack. Not quite sure why. This does allow us now then to just attack us where they're standing outside of cover. Our chance to hit here isn't all that good because we're using Spawn Seeker's shotgun, which is short range, but still, we get a kill taking down one of them. Masako just next to him can see the other one. Pretty good chance to hit, we'll take the shot and we do get it. So that means it's just the Archon for everything else to attack, or everyone else I should say. Big boy at the back's going to get started with a sniper rifle attack. Unfortunately though, he misses, so that's not really good from him. Constantinus was able to get a hit, and then Kajuro hits it twice with a pistol. I used lightning hands to damage it a bit. Then I still had the option to actually fire my sniper rifle here, but the chance to hit is lower than what it would be with a pistol because the enemy is too close. So we go for that second pistol shot, and that was enough to bring it down. First pod dealt with, we'll move up a bit more then. However, after that, a chosen warlock appeared, so that's going to delay things a little bit and make things more difficult. The first thing he did was summon some spectral zombies to attack us. This was actually in the next turn, I think, so I put the whole squad in Overwatch and prepped up a little bit in between now and then. That means these zombies will now have a difficult time. He actually spawns 2. Normally I think it's only 1, but I think the crazy mod has made him spawn 2. Because these things, their attack is to move up to you and then explode in the next turn when you kill them. But if we just Overwatch kill them right away, we don't have to deal with that. Masako downs 1, another one shambles up the stairs, WotC pops up and gives us a miss, but Spawn Seeker, who's closer, sends that zombie to the moon. So the chosen attack has been thwarted pretty well. Now the time limit is counting down, so we need to move up and investigate this train. Todo sees that there are actually 2 enemy pods defending the train, so that's going to make things difficult. We need, ideally, a way to fight them one at a time, but that means being careful and slow, and the time limit is still ticking down, so we need to do things in a quite aggressive fashion to advance successfully. I drop a claymore on those enemies in order to set up for an attack next turn. First though, some reinforcements happen to be dropping right down on top of where we were. So I was forced to spend a turn going into Overwatch to deal with this. Spawn Seeker downs the mech as it lands, so that's good. Then Masako took a shot, and the danger here is that she's firing at a Purifier right next to Spawn Seeker. Luckily she doesn't kill it, because if that thing had blown up we certainly would have taken some damage. Then Napoleon, who is outflanked and discovered by that Purifier, gives us another Overwatch shot, and he takes down one of the regular troopers. We still, at the end of all that, then have at large 2 troopers and a Purifier with 1 health, so we need to fight them and ideally fight the other enemies nearby because we do need to get a move on. WotC gets rid of one of those troopers for us, thank you very much. Now I'm going to switch back to Todo and take advantage of the claymore that I threw because I can now shoot it without him coming out of concealment. I also had this idea that if you do this it doesn't aggro the enemies onto you. I don't know why I thought this, but it certainly does. So now we have to fight these guys at the same time as the reinforcements. Fortunately the other pod wasn't aggroed in by that explosion, and as I said, we do need to get this fight going because we're about to run out of time to get into the train and hack this thing, so we need to kill these guys as soon as we can. In Napoleon's turn, I'm going to get out of our outflanked position into some heavy cover, and this cover allows us to outflank some of these new enemies. We're going to take a shot at this sectoid. He's only got 3 health thanks to the claymore, but I think even if we hadn't used it, that shot would have killed him, so good work, Napoleon. Next, Constantinus fires a grenade forwards to take out another sectoid, that's the other one that was on low health already, and down it goes. And because he has the salvo perk, he can actually fire again. Shooting a grenade doesn't end the turn, so I'll use another grenade to damage the Spectre down there, since that's going to be a key enemy. Spawn Seeker easily outflanks the remaining Advent Trooper and brings him down, so just the Purifier to deal with from those reinforcements now. Big Boy takes down a sectoid with a nice easy shot, nothing special there, just a good chance to hit and a good amount of damage. The Spectre moves to our left flank, dodging an Overwatch shot using its Lightning Reflexes ability. A sectoid resurrects one of the dead Advent Troopers, and now there's a zombie in amongst us, and this Purifier is getting in amongst us as well, running into our formation just to really hammer it home that it's going for a suicide attack, but then also setting Constantinus on fire, so he'll now lose 1 health at the start of the next turn as a result of that. Unfortunate. The chosen warlock comes back with another spectral zombie, or another pair of zombies I should say, this time just in front of us, and they move around to sit in the bit that's on fire, so they're kind of hard to see right now. The Spectre goes down because Spawn Seeker can just outflank it where it was standing and get a nice close range shotgun blast that finishes it off. As for the zombies, I moved Masako down near Spawn Seeker as well, then shot back up at those zombies. One of them explodes because of its spectral overload thing, actually killing the other one in the process, so that's pretty good, a nice twofer. Napoleon takes down the regular zombie with no problem. Now we need to deal with the Purifier. Just had to get everyone out the way, and then since it's just standing there, a nice easy shot from Kajuro deals with that. Now for the alien turn, a sectoid runs forwards into this train car that I've just put Takehisa Todo in. That means he's going to be discovered because he's outflanked, but he'll also get an overwatch shot, so that's a good start to defeating that guy. It also used both its movement points to run in like that, so it can't fire back, so no problem with the fact that we're outflanked. Now Masako needs to move up because we're now on the final turn. This thing is about to become unhackable. We have to hack it right now. We can't actually get to it, but we can get close with Masako, and that's all we need. It triggers the nearby pod to come into battle, so Masako is now at risk being out in front like this, but it does mean we can send the Gremlin to do the hack. We just had to have line of sight with her to the terminal to actually get this hack going. So now we have got it. Couple of bonuses available here, just going to be simple and go for the one we're virtually guaranteed to get, and indeed we get it. So now it's the case of just defeating the remaining aliens. We can't leave until we've done that, because it's not really a guerrilla op as the game describes it. I'm going to help Masako out by firing a rocket with Constantinus towards some of the enemies that just got aggroed in, doing some good damage to a couple of them there, and then I discovered they're actually just about in range of his saturation fire, so I can use the salvo perk to take another action and then do the saturation fire, and that kills both a purifier and a mech, so that thins things out very nicely. The aliens in their turn didn't do anything particularly remarkable. They're just standing where they are and making very difficult to hit attacks against our guys in heavy cover, and they're unable to hit, as you can see, and that stun lancer is actually standing out in the open while making that attack, which is very unusual for a stun lancer. You would have expected it would just run and kill Masako, but apparently not. Big Boy gets rid of it for us in the next turn. A couple more spectral zombies are summoned into the mix, which is really starting to get annoying because I thought the Warlock could only do this once per mission from my previous experience. I guess it can just keep doing it. It hasn't bothered to advance up and use normal combat against us, so it's probably just scripted to keep doing this for whatever reason. Constantinus kills one of them, and Todo's got Masako covered here, killing the other one, so again, no threat from that attack. The Advent Trooper, I think, died in an Overwatch somewhere, and the Advent Officer is easily killed now, and that's the end of all the aliens on the map. The battle continues though, because we'll have to fight the Chosen as well, and finally he decides to move forward and take a look at what we've got to offer. Spawn Seeker gets a hit with Overwatch through some cover there, very nicely done from him. The Chosen's response was first to summon a couple of Faceless to the battle. Not too bad because they're so easy to hit and they don't have much health in comparison to our power at this point in the game. Then though he does a psychic attack that dazes Spawn Seeker, so he's now out of action for a bit, which is a shame. My first priority was just to get rid of the Faceless so that we don't have to worry about them, and that's not too difficult. As I said, Napoleon destroys one and Ghost Devin brings down the other one, so now it's just the Chosen to focus on, and really this wasn't too difficult because Constantinus could hit him with a grenade in the next turn, I think this was actually, and this Chosen is weak against explosions, so they do double damage, and he got a critical hit, so that just killed him immediately, and that was the end of that. We'll pick up all that loot that's on the floor as a result of that quick ending as well, so that's nice, and as well as all the loot we get our new operative that we were looking for, so that's just a handy thing to have in our pool. We'll have to convert her over to be someone from the OfficiallyDevin All-Star team. Now some exciting developments in the background. I've invented the advanced grenade launcher, so if you like grenades like me, things are only going to get more explosive. It just shoots further so we can use grenades even more, and to help out with that we've also invented the plasma grenade. This upgrades all of your grenades to a superior version that do more damage and have a bigger explosion. That's what we like to see, so I am going to be spamming grenades even more than I was before. And we've even got a nice mission to test this out on, because now we've unlocked the ability to attack another alien black site. This is the one where the stuff they were making at the previous black site was being sent, so this is the even more black site, super top secret, and presumably they're doing something really nasty here, so we're going to investigate. I moved up to the edge of the base, or the outer part of the base. There's a little bastion separate from the main base that we start attacking, and we take a look around at what we've got to fight. The enemy pods seem pretty small. I think this is the vanilla pod size we're facing, probably because they're scripted in some way because it's a story mission, so that's going to make things easier, although making things harder is the presence of that machine. This is one of the late game enemies that I guess is just being thrown at us because this is a special mission. It has absolutely loads of health and armor, and of course plenty of offensive power as well. Fortunately, these two pods walked away from each other, one walking right up to us so we can easily just ambush it as the fight starts, and the more powerful one started walking away. So we'll get a chance to start this on the right foot by annihilating that first pod, and then taking down the other one on our terms. And of course they're also all robots, so a bit more hacking fun might come into play. This battle, the new Black Site fight, is a gigantic slog, so we'll hack our way through that as the next part.